Well, good evening to everyone. What I want to say from the start is I've attended so many different forums, dialogues, been a part of many different conversations throughout the system. And one thing is clear: there is a push to increase diversity in our faculty and staff to serve our students. Based on the requests by you all, my honorable trustees, as well as the need to share what Napa Valley College is actually doing in our recruitment processes to meet that call. So first of all, it's important to know that we are an EEO employer. So what does that mean? That means that we do recognize diversity, and we understand that we, as a higher educational institution, our charge, as I stated before, is to create a faculty and staff that is reflective of our student base. Per Title V, and I have to say from personal experience, creating this richly diverse workforce is an ongoing process. So one of the things that I keep hearing is we got to do it now. There's a lot of different steps involved within the recruitment process, but what I can say about now,
you're freezing a little bit, Charles.
Is already having a really good recruit. I'm sorry. How am I now? Okay, it's okay. So coming into Napa Valley College, we have a really good foundation for recruiting. And so it was very easy for me to come in and pick up and make some adjustments to increase those efforts to diversify our applicant pools. One of the area that guides all of our steps in HR serving the district is Title V EEO, state and federal requirements, the Chancellor's Office minimum qualification guidelines and for faculty hiring, and the multiple method guidelines and legal direction also set forth by the Chancellor's Office. So what is our ultimate goal? We strive to create a diverse applicant pool. Now, we do not do any preferential hiring, meaning we don't look at ethnicity and gender and say, we are going to hire you based on your ethnicity or gender. Our job is to create a diverse applicant pool that will increase the chances of us diversifying our faculty and staff. At the end of the day, what are we looking for? We're looking for the best qualified candidate to serve our students. That starts with our job descriptions and job posting. The job description, of course, tells the employee what it is they're going to do. The job posting is our advertisement to entice individuals to apply for a job. So we do look at our qualifications to making sure that as we are setting minimum qualifications, we're not setting the bar too high. If we set the bar too high, then we reduce the ability to diverse our applicant pools. And that includes looking at our desirables and making sure that they're reasonable and we know exactly the type of applicant we're trying to seek. Also, we are required to include a diversity statement in both academic and staff positions. And so in order for us to be able to screen for the understanding of who we are looking for these applicants to serve, we included also in our screening process as well as our interview process. Our hiring committee is trained per Title V. We do train our hiring committee on legal compliance, our commitment to Title V state and federal non-discrimination laws, the benefits of a diverse workforce, elimination of bias, and also committee best practices. We do diversify our hiring committees. If we see that our hiring committee is a homogenous group, we do reach out to our constituencies asking for additional volunteers to diversify our hiring committees. And we also have EEO reps equal employment opportunity representatives on each committee. Their role in each committee is to help me, because I can't attend every single hiring committee meeting, but to help me to identify bias, stop it in its tracks, and also to keep the committee on track of following state, federal laws, as well as our own policies and procedures. And also we go over our recruitment methods. One of the things that we have been doing differently is our outreach, our actual recruitment. And so before we did contract with an ad agency, but we've expanded that. We now do all of our recruitments are advertised nationwide. We also do strategic sourcing. What that means is some of our best candidates come from those who are not looking for jobs or may not have seen our jobs. And so we have ways of doing strategic sourcing to reach out to those passive candidates. We are attending numerous job fairs, and this is just a sampling of the job fairs that we have attended, including the creation of our own job fair. For 2 years straight, we held our own NBC Employment Information Fair because we were trying to understanding that our property value, how we're centered, there's a lot of obstacles for some people just to say yes to employment to Napa Valley College. And we understood a long time ago that there may be some interest from Napa Unified and surrounding employers who may be interested in coming to the college to provide service to our students. So for 2 years straight, we offered an employment information fair on our campus. But additionally to that, we attend our CCC registry job fairs, which are extremely important for us to attend, as well as important for us to develop those diverse applicant pools, particularly for our faculty hiring. Those job fairs are always held in January, which is the traditional popular time for hiring faculty. And we attend diversity fairs as well as job fairs at Travis Air Force Base. Our applicant pool review. So once we get close to our positions closing online, I review all applicant pools and I look at the makeup of each applicant pool. What I'm looking for is to see, based on the discipline or based on the job family, do we have diversity represented in our applicant pool? If I don't see that there is a significant level of diversity, we will extend the timeline to post the position. This allows us to re-strategize, advertise in different places, do additional sourcing to diversify our applicant pools. So that's another stopgap in looking at our pools and efforts to diversify. So some things that we've done in the past 5 years, we purchased the applicant tracking system. That's our NeoGov system. And I have to thank the board for approving that way before I joined Napa Valley College. This applicant tracking system produces those EEO reports that I review. We now have a recruiter that is housed in human resources, and that recruiter, as well as the previous recruiter that we had before, they have both completed the AIRS Diversity and Inclusivity Recruiter Certification. That teaches them how to diversify our applicant pools, particularly in the area of our academic hires. We do strategic sourcing, and so again, that's utilizing the internet as well as networks, and sometimes that's employing the assistance of outside vendors and tapping into other networks to find that special candidate or special candidates to apply for our positions. As I stated before, we had our own in-house job fair. The minimum qualifications for faculty is reviewed in human resources. And this is important because this allows us to quickly identify the faculty applicants that requires equivalency and get them through the process so that we don't lose candidates. We're also analyzing our longitudinal data. So we're looking at in Napa County, in Alameda County, in Solano County, what is our availability for candidates and how are we doing versus what is available of talent in our area. And we also now have the EEO Advisory Council, which is a sub-council from our EEO Equity Inclusivity Committee. So our next steps is when I bring this topic back, I will be bringing it back with a further discussion into data represented in our EEO plan and asking for an approval to approve another 3-year EEO plan. We're working on strengthening our outreach to adjunct faculty, as well as updating the NeoGov system. One of the things we're excited about, but we have not implemented because it's pending discussion with our constituencies, we do have the ability, we can flip the switch immediately to mask applicant identification through the system. So that means that if we get agreement from our constituencies and we require a change in process, then our committees would not see any names or any identifiers. It's not foolproof because when you have internal candidates, you can kind of figure out who is applying. But for the majority of our applications, they will be completely masked. And so the only thing the hiring committee member would see is an applicant ID. So hopefully we'll get some success with that, and I can bring that back for further information as well. And lastly, finding efficiencies in the recruitment process to shorten the timeline. I think in the past 4 years, we've made considerable improvements in shortening the recruitment process, and we still have work to do. And so we're working on that as well. And thank you so much for spending the past 10 minutes listening to me. And thank you.